This is the demo of our application. This is a prototype for a mobile application, which is why we have a 9:16 aspect ratio. This here is the loading screen. You can see the various buttons, most of which are currently disabled. There's a random tip here to help users out. Let's click this button to load an image. Let's load this image of the Grand Canyon. As you can see, the image appears on the screen. We weren't able to implement any zoom functionality due to time constraints. We also have these two buttons here, which are inactive, as these features were also not implemented due to time constraints. The most important feature of this app is the filters feature, which we can access by clicking this button here. This feature applies a sequence of changes automatically, which makes for quick and easy image editing. Filter transparency here is not yet implemented. However, we do have a number of preset filters that users can choose from. If you're not happy with any of these filters, you can click the cancel button. If you want to apply a filter, you can select the filter and then you can click confirm to apply. Any confirmed changes, which you confirm by clicking the confirm button, can be undone, and any undone actions can be redone. To save an image, you can click the Save button up here. We have the following file types. So you can select the name and the extension. Now this interface would be different on a mobile device, but this is what we have for the prototype. So let's save. And as you can see, the image pops up in the folder I saved it in. Now, if you wanted to revert the image back to the original, you could do that by undoing. You could also do it by clicking this button here. If you wanted to load another image, you can do that by clicking this load button, and this will return you to the main loading screen. So let's load another image. Let's say this image here. As you can see, the orientation of this image is wrong, so we can fix it by clicking the crop rotate tool. The only functionality for this tool that we have implemented currently is rotation in either direction by 90 degrees. So let's confirm this change. Now let's use the color tool to play with the colors. We have 5 basic color tools here. You can see we got hue, which adjusts the hue. If we want to cancel the current modification, we can click cancel. Now let's try some of these other modifications. This is saturation, which we've called intensity. So let's play with that. We've got warmth, which is the typical warmth tool. We've got tint, which is also fairly typical. Contrast, fairly typical. So let's confirm these changes. We've also got these light tools, which you can access by clicking this button. We've got 3 basic light tools. We have brightness, which is the typical brightness adjustment. We've got light, which adjusts the lighter colors in the image. And we've got shadows, which adjusts the darker colors in the image. So let's save these adjustments, or confirm these adjustments rather. Now at this point, we've made a sequence of changes to our image, and we can save this precise sequence as a filter, which we can use to apply the exact same changes to other images. We can save a filter by clicking the Add Filter button on top. Now, let's just give this filter a name. I'm going to call it Canyon, and I'm going to specify the icon path. This is obviously not the interface we would use in the finished product. This is just for the prototype. As you can see, I have an icon lined up. So let's save this. Now the idea behind saving filters is that many people will often apply a very similar sequence of changes, in many cases the exact same sequence to similar images. So let's just save this image. We'll call this new 1. Now let's load another image of the Hoover Dam to demonstrate how this can be applied to similar images. So we've got this other picture of the Hoover Dam. When we go to the filters menu, we see the canyon filter is now in the list where it wasn't before. We click that, we can see a preview, we confirm, and the exact same sequence of adjustments we made to the last image of the Hoover Dam are being applied to this image of the Hoover Dam. So we can then save this. We'll call it new 2. Now let's try this with something else. The Grand Canyon is quite similar to the Hoover Dam, so we can probably use this same filter on images of the Grand Canyon. Now if we wanted to, we could also change this image slightly. For example, we could increase the shadows a little bit. So we can tinker with it as well after applying the filter. So let's save this. Call this new 2. Let's try this on one more image and then we will wrap this up. So let's try Grand Canyon 003. Let's rotate this, confirm, apply the canyon filter, we'll confirm, and then we will save as soon as this filter applies. These are 12 megapixel images we're editing, so it does take a minute to apply some of these filters as it is a fairly lengthy sequence of changes. So we save that, and now let's take a look at what we have done. So we've got this image. Again, these are fairly large images. So these, I believe, are the, yes, this is the original, this is the new one, and this concludes the demonstration. Thanks for watching.